Well, Javier Díaz-Giménez is Professor of Economics at the IESE Business School. Great to have you on Global Business Europe. Look, private credit's been booming in the shadows. Are we looking at early warning signs of the next financial shock?
I don't think so, because, private credit is private, so that means there's no risk of bank runs. It does not involve institutions. In 2008, the off-balance vehicles, they were owned by banks or investment banks, or general purpose banks. But now this is private credit between two private entities, and if those credit lines become delinquent, if there are losses, then one of them loses, the other one does not pay, and they'll have to sort it out in court. And so I don't. So of course, unless these credits are used as collateral for something else, and they start getting deeper and deeper into the financial system, this is, banks and the financial system in general are not threatened, even if there is a major collapse or major defaults on all these credit lines, which I think is pretty unlikely. To me, it sounds. Go ahead.
Well, the FSB and the Governor of the Bank of England is saying, look, risks are building outside the banking system, just like we saw in 2008. I mean, is history repeating itself?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think this is the banks screaming, crying wolf, because they see their competition. I mean, this is clearly, these are private arrangements. They are outside the banking system, but banks are not getting any cut in these deals, and they're complaining, But why would it affect the banking system if they don't have a part of it? It's for me, it's really hard to understand, This private credit, private equity is just an asset on one person's or company's balance sheet, and a liability on another. There's no banks are involved. So I really find it hard to see the problem.
But what about HSBC having that write-down of £400 million earlier in the week, linking it to all of this? Are you not a tiny bit cautious that if private credit runs into trouble, that it could turn into a wider financial problem? What levers are there, what protections are there to stop that happening?
No, there are none. Clearly there are no protections, but clearly there are no protections. This is just private. These are private contracts, private loan contracts between individuals. So there are no protections. One of them, if that contract is not honored, will take a major loss, and that's that. And that person or that entity might go bankrupt, but it will not. It doesn't have any effect on the banking system, on any financial or any regulated institution, because they are out of this loop. They are not part of this deal. So yeah, I mean, somebody might lose and they'll go bankrupt. But it's a private affair. So what I don't see is the contagion effect and the implications for the banking, for the regulated, for the formal banking system at all. I mean, this is just a private credit.
Okay, in which case do you see opportunity? I mean, from a global perspective, then, including China, is private credit a vital source of growth? Or is there a risk that it's growing faster than the rules around it?
Well, look, anytime anybody makes a loan, there is an extra risk that was not there, because there's the risk of default. So if nobody lent to anyone, there wouldn't be any credit default risk. So there is a risk. The question is, who is carrying this risk? And in this case, this is not 2008. In 2008, the off-balance vehicles were created by banks, and they were owned by banks, investment banks mostly. Okay, but this is not the case. This is just private credit, and basically the reason why private credit has grown so much is because banks are not doing their job. I mean, it's too expensive, but basically their overheads are too large, and now people find this opportunity of doing without the intermediary. So to me, this is an intermediary complaining because it's getting out of business. I mean, it's losing some business to private, because private credit is peer-to-peer. There's no intermediary, and the intermediary is saying, "Hey, be careful, be careful." Why? I mean that credit risk, that default risk, is incorporated in the contract, and whoever is making the loan understands that there will be some risk of default. No.
So you're saying, don't panic. Javier Díaz-Giménez, thank you very much.
Yeah, don't panic. I like that.